Good afternoon, everyone, and well, good morning for those of you in Queensland and the Wild Wild West over in Perth. Today's webinar is really exciting. We're talking to you about a new enhancement that we've added to the Village Guru software. And I'd just like to say a really sincere thank you to those of you who have provided us with feedback, both in the creation and then also during the development phase of bringing in this change. So let's get started. So obviously neither what we're talking about today or anything in the Village Guru software is designed to give anybody personal financial advice. So people should seek advice if they need advice from someone who specialises. So look for a retirement living and aged care specialist. So what did you tell us? Well, you told us lots of great feedback, but I guess the three messages that really came through were that there were parts of the sales team or people in the sales team who wanted to provide a Village Guru report to every customer, and they wanted to provide that report up front. So they wanted to provide a report that was about a particular unit in a particular village, but not necessarily customised until a later date. The other feedback that we got was that you wanted to be able to show people the great information they could get by doing a Village Guru report. So the ability to do a report and show them essentially what information they need to provide in order for you to customise it. So what we've done and what we're announcing today is that Village Guru will now be able to produce two different kinds of reports. A customised report, which if you like is the report that you're currently used to and already producing. And it will also be able to produce what we're calling a non-customised or a simple report. And what I'm going to talk to you today about is how to create one of those simple reports. It's actually as easy as falling off a log. But if you do have any questions, please pop them in the questions or the chat box pane, and we'll get to those at the end. But hopefully this is all pretty simple. So what you'll notice is different when you log into the software, and these changes will be made overnight tonight. So when you log in tomorrow morning, they won't be there today. When you log in tomorrow morning, you'll see these changes. So the first thing that you'll notice is that we have added, if you like, green highlights, and the green highlights indicate the information that is required to create a customised report. So you can see there that we need the customer's first name and we need their date of birth. We're not making the last name compulsory. Even if you're doing a simple report, we need to know whether you're doing a simple report for the customer on the basis of them being single or a couple. If you don't select a relationship status, just as it is now, it will default to single. When you click through to the current details, you'll see that the information needed for a customised report is the home, so their current home market value, their personal assets, and their investment assets. Without that information, a customised report won't be produced. So if you put in some of the information, so for example, let's say you put in a home market value, but you leave personal assets and investment assets blank, you'll still get a simple report. And a simple report essentially doesn't calculate age pension, rent assistance, or home care package costs because the software doesn't have enough information. So if we don't get these three crucial pieces of information, we can't calculate how much pension they could expect to receive or how much rent assistance they might be able to receive or what their home care package costs might be. You'll notice this pop up. So, and you can jump through those screens. So if you're wanting to create a simple report, you can actually just jump. You don't necessarily have to click next. You can just jump the first two screens straight to the property details. whichever way you do it, whether you click next or whether you jump straight to that particular page, you'll get this pop-up that says, okay, you just want a simple report, and you'll just need to click close so that you know that that's what the software is going to produce. If you get that pop-up and you're not expecting it, i.e. you think you're in a customized report, then you can click on the go back and edit, and it will take you back to the information that it's missing. So like I said, you can either go through the customer details and current details screens by clicking next, or you can just jump straight to the property. Obviously, it needs a property in order to produce a report. So this is perfect for people who want to produce a report about a particular unit in a particular village, and they just want to show the customer what that looks like. And that might be because there's payment options or whatever it is that they're trying to show. So just as you normally would, you click on the Add Property button and you provide the property details. And like I said, the software will still, if you have contract options, and I know that a lot of our customers do, it will still show the contract options in the summary page. The other thing that you can still do in terms of functionality is you can still add an external village. So you can add, just like you can now, you can add multiple properties within your village. You can add a competitor's retirement community. And if you wanted to, you can still compare with staying at home. In order to do that, you would need to put a home value in order for that comparison to flow through. But you can absolutely do that if that's what you're wanting to do. So once you've got the summary page, just as you do now, you select which options you want to go through into your report. And then it's going to look a little bit different. So in the results page, the first thing you'll notice is up the top, what you have told us that the information has not been provided. Now, some of the information might be there because you've popped in, say, a home value, for example, but when there's a box that says not provided, it will tell you that you're creating a simple report. The other thing that you'll notice is that on the bottom of the results page, just down here, there's a little green thought bubble, I guess, and it says you are about to generate a simple report. You can come back and add the customer's details at any time for a customized report. So you may want to create simple reports with customer names so that you can come back to them and customize them later, if that's the way you're using the software, which we know that a number of you are doing that kind of two-stepped process where you're creating, if you like, a property report, and then you're customizing it later for the customer when they're thinking about purchasing. Sorry, I'm just going to jump over to grab a couple of the reports to show you what they look like. As they say on TV, here's one I prepared earlier. So you'll notice that on the front page of the Essentials report, it says here, non-customized. When you're looking at the customer's information, it will have the relationship status. So like I said, that defaults to single. If you're creating a simple report for a couple, you need to nominate that they are a couple. It will then say that you haven't provided this information, and you'll notice this little flag that says your Village Guru report has not yet been customised as you have not provided your details. You can choose to update this information to enable your Village Guru report to provide an estimate of your age pension and rent assistance entitlements and home care package costs. Speak to your sales consultant about customising this report. So, and that occurs at a couple of different points in this report. So this report looks very much like, we haven't removed the pension information, I'll show you that. So you still have your village information on your village profile page. You still have all the, if you like, educational wording, checklists, all of those things within the report. You still have all the information about your different contract options if you have contract options. Like I said, checklist. Now, when it comes to the age pension, you notice now that it's just saying up to the maximum amount. And that's because it doesn't have enough information to calculate an estimated pension entitlement. So it's simply going to say up to the maximum amount. But it does have some smarts built into it. So for example, if you happen to put in the customer's name and date of birth and just didn't put in their financial information, and the date of birth meant that that customer was too young to receive an age pension, this wouldn't show as up to $26,689. This would actually show as zero, because the software has enough information to work out, actually, you're not entitled to a pension, you're too young. I'm not going to show you a value of up to the maximum amount when I already know that you don't qualify. All the other information in the reports are the same. I guess the other bit where the report looks quite different is in the results page. So you can see here that this is clearly showing the 3 different payment options for this particular property in the village, but it's not showing what they would be left with in terms of investments or what they have in personal assets. And likewise, it's then not able to calculate age pension, deemed income, any other income, etc. And again, that little flag is at the bottom saying that this report hasn't yet been customised because the software doesn't have the details to enable it to do that. A couple of other examples that I just wanted to show you quickly is just so that you know sort of the smarts built that are still operating within the software. So if you're a lifestyle village, the software still knows when rent assistance applies and when it doesn't. For example, it knows when rent assistance applies to a retirement village and when it applies to a land lease community. It doesn't have enough information to calculate the amount of rent assistance that applies. So what you'll see is that it'll say things like this. So it'll say, okay, this is the pension up to the maximum amount. And then it will show this is the maximum rent assistance that the customer might be eligible for under that particular scenario. So in this case, it was 2 different homes within a land lease community compared to a retirement village where the rent assistance didn't apply. So you still can show the customer those comparisons, if you like, or it's just not going to be able to give them, this is how much we estimate you will receive. It's only going to be able to say you can receive up to this amount in rent assistance. But in order to calculate it, we're going to need to get those essentially those 4 values, being the date of birth, the home value, the personal assets, and the investments as they currently stand. The other one I wanted to show you, and actually this might really be covering much of the same thing, was the rent assistance for a couple. So you can see here, this is a sorry to jump around. This is a retirement village where, and I might just show you that bit first actually. This is a retirement village with 3 different payment options. One of those payment options means that the resident may be able to qualify for rent assistance because the amount that they're paying for their home in the retirement village under that particular option is below what Centrelink call the extra allowable amount, which is currently $224,500. So the software still knows that. It's still looking and saying, well, could they qualify? And it's going, well, under this scenario, yes, they could qualify for rent assistance, but I don't have enough information to determine how much. So I'll just put up to. Whereas it knows that under this scenario and this scenario, the purchase prices are greater than $224,500, and therefore they couldn't qualify. So when you, and sorry to make your eyes hurt, so when you look at this page, it's saying, well, under this scenario, yes, you could qualify for rent assistance of up to $3,713 a year. But under this scenario and this scenario, the software knows that they can't qualify because of that purchase price and is then showing a zero value. Hopefully that makes sense. It's essentially, the smarts that exist within the software are still there and are still working to the extent that they can without all of the information that it needs to provide that estimated amount of age pension or the estimated amount of rent assistance, or likewise home care package costs. So really, that's it for our announcements of what's new with Village Guru from tomorrow. But there's more to come, and you'll find out about that over the coming weeks. But just to give you a little bit of a sneak preview, we are currently building a members resource area / library / you tell us what you'd like it to be called, because we've got feedback from quite a lot of you that you quite like the articles that I write for different media outlets, whether it's Downsizing, Sydney Morning Herald, whoever it might be. And some people have been printing those out, but they're not necessarily nicely formatted, or some people have been photocopying them out of the newspaper. So we're getting quite similar frequently asked questions, if you like, about all sorts of things, from the government superannuation downsizer incentive to how much money can I gift without affecting my pension. So we're creating documents for you that will be nicely formatted, that you can just print out from your office printer and give that to a customer if they've got questions. But all of that will be enhanced by your feedback. So if you can tell us what you want, what would be helpful, what are customers asking you for, then we can make it. And if you say to me, well, it's as simple as like there's an article in Sydney Morning Herald that I wrote today about how do I know when I'm a homeowner when I downsize to a retirement community. So if that's helpful, just pop me an email or give me a call and say, Rach, that was a great article. Could we have something like that in the Village Guru library? And I can change it, so that we're not breaching SMH's copyright, and we'll put that in the library, and then you can use that whenever somebody's asking you that question. Or I think one of the other suggestions we had from a few of the sales team was, why does an exit fee exist? So we've got an article about why do exit fees exist? What are they? Because contrary to popular belief, they're not just a rip-off before you leave. The other exciting news, so the other enhancement that we are currently working on is the ability to have more details in the home care package part of the software. So we know that a number of you either provide home care packages or partner with other organisations who provide home care packages, and that it is quite common for you or them to waive the basic daily fee, for example. So we're going to add functionality so that when the software is displaying the costs of the home care package, you will be able to waive that basic daily fee, so that instead of showing that the cost of the home care package is, say, $4,000 a year, it might actually be a zero cost to the customer. The other thing that we're going to do is give you the ability to add on the supplements that exist within home care packages, and to show all of that information in a consolidated table so that the customer can clearly see what are they paying towards their home care package, what is the government paying towards their home care package, and how much money do they have in total to allocate towards their home care package services. Because I think sometimes just presenting the information based on what they pay, they might think, or the feedback we're getting is that they might think that there's only $4,000 in their home care package, when in actuality there might be, you know, 36,000 once you add in the government funding. So we're making those enhancements, and you'll certainly hear about them, and we'll launch them in the coming weeks. But like I said, we really do want your feedback, whether you want to pop your feedback now into the questions box or the chat box. I'd love to know what you think about this simple report. If this is the first time you've heard about it, I'd love to get your initial thoughts on it. You know, do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you going to use it? Will it make the process of providing someone with a Village Guru report easier for you? All of that sort of stuff. And likewise, if you've got any feedback or suggestions on, or you want to be part of the feedback groups that we've got that are providing us with feedback about those resources or the changes to the home care package information, just reach out and let me know, and we'll include you in those groups as we're going through this development process. So that's it. That's pretty much everything I wanted to and needed to tell you for today. I'll jump on and just see if there's any questions or anything that can't see any questions. Hopefully that's all pretty clear for everyone. If it's not, and you would like us to give you a demonstration, if you still haven't got Sally samples and you want Sally samples, please reach out, and Anne can get in touch with you. Oh, thanks, Matt. Joe, we don't have dates. Sorry, Joe's I'm not sure if you guys can see the questions pane on my screen. Joe's just asking, when will the home care package information be available? So, Joe, at the moment, the home care package information is already in the report. You just need to nominate what level of home care package the customer is going to receive. What we're doing is we're just enhancing the way that information gets presented. And if that is something that's of interest to you, more than happy to include you in that feedback loop. We won't, I promise, we won't take hours and hours of your time. We will take on board your feedback and then send you back what we're proposing, and you can literally say yay or nay, or what about this, or what about that. So I think it's going to be great. We hear that a lot, Joe, that lots of villages have got customers receiving home care packages, and they get a little bit overwhelmed in terms of trying to understand it. So we're trying to make it more digestible, but also show them how much money is available in the home care package for them to get the care and services that they want and need. So like I said, if you want to jump in that feedback group, we'd love to have you, because all feedback is good feedback. I think sometimes people think we're searching for positive feedback, but you know, telling us the things that we're not doing so well is actually more helpful to us. So yeah. Lyndon's asking, can we share? Yes, Lyndon, more than happy to. And if you want me to, more than happy to show you tomorrow how to create a simple report within the software. So just let me know, because these ones probably aren't as useful for you. So more than happy to do that. No, all good. So thanks everyone for your time today. If, like I said, I know I'm harping on about it a little bit, but if you do have any feedback, good, bad, indifferent, you know, whatever, even a thumbs up, do let us know, because we really love to, you know, kind of evolve and change and help you guys do the amazing job that you do. So if there's something that we can be doing better, we want to hear about it immediately. So thanks so much for your time. I will give you back 5 minutes of your lunch break, presumably, and keep an eye on your emails about those other enhancements coming soon. Thanks so much, guys. See ya. Bye.